CrossFit Hendersonville. Tate and I are here to update you on some changes with the programming going on at our gym, okay? So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we've learned over the past 7 years as we've had the box. CrossFit is challenging both physically and mentally, and then maybe even more so a little bit mentally than physically, and we'll kind of touch on that a little bit later, but the longer you do it, the mental aspect really plays a big role into CrossFit, so this is kind of what we're going to touch base on today. Personally speaking, now going into my 9th year of CrossFit, I've learned that the intensity of CrossFit, Tate, go ahead and give us a definition of intensity so they understand.
So intensity, what we're talking about here is an increase in your work capacity. Work is defined as force times distance divided by time. So as you are able to create more force, meaning lift more weight, whether your distance is not really going to change on things, so the amount of weight that you can lift and the time that you can do it, and if that time decreases, you are creating more work. So that increase in your work capacity, that's talking about intensity. So how hard you're pushing, how fast you're going on the workout, and how much weight you're lifting during that time, all are things that we're looking for when we talk about intensity.
So intensity can really be a great thing, and as you guys have experienced, that's what breeds results, right? So physically it can be very positive. But on the flip side of that, it can also be a bad thing if workouts are implemented improperly and your body just kind of gets beaten down. Well, I've learned that mentally, like I said before, it's hard to keep up with the intensity year after year after year. And I know for me individually, when I go into a workout, getting mentally prepped for that is hard, and it takes a lot out of me. And the continual strive to be better and to improve takes a lot out of me as well. It can be exhausting, especially when you hit that 5-year mark, or if you've been doing CrossFit really consistently, 4, 5, 6 days a week for several years, you can hit that wall. And so I've learned how to dial back the intensity of my workout while still getting fitter and having fun, 9 years down the road. I'm training smarter, not necessarily harder, and you might say, well, how do you do that? First off is from, 8, 9 years of programming and experience with that. Also learning how to listen to my body and just maturing as an individual. But also a lot of it has to do with varying my programming. There are different seasons in life, there's ups and downs all through your life. Same goes with training. So there might be some periods where you want to reach a goal, and so you're going to push harder. And then there might be other seasons where you just want to have a little bit more fun, relax a little bit more, and take off the daily grind. All of this is okay, and all of this we actually recommend and say, great. Tate, let's talk a little bit about kind of what CrossFit looks like with the games and media and how that plays into it.
Sure. So as Lindsay just mentioned, she's been doing CrossFit for 8 or 9 years. I'm in the same boat with her. So we were there when the games began. We've seen, some of the older original CrossFit programming, and we've also seen how things have changed with the introduction and the expansion of the games. I mean, originally it was just a very low-key hangout with a group of friends, but now it's this entire spectacle, week-long in Los Angeles, featured on ESPN. And so the whole CrossFit Games and the media that goes along with that has really changed a lot of the programming and the mindset for a lot of CrossFit athletes. When you watch the CrossFit Games, what they are searching for is the fittest on earth, and that's kind of the slogan of the CrossFit Games. And those athletes you see competing are exactly just that. They are the fittest on earth. They're hitting multiple workouts a day. They're constantly pushing to always increase, to fine-tune their technique, the slightest margins. They're always wondering what the other guy's doing, and then they're going to go do that as well so that they are not left behind and not progressing the way that the other athletes of the games level caliber are. Now, there's no problem with games level athletes. We love those guys. They're so much fun for you to watch. And if any of you would like to be a games level athlete, come talk to me and Lindsay, and we can help you get there. But we know that 99% of the members of our gym are not games level athletes, don't aspire to be games level athletes, but yet we still have that pressure put on us from the outside CrossFit culture. And so what we're trying to implement here is a little bit of a change in mindset and philosophy of our programming to monitor intensity levels, to kind of get back to the basics, because we know that you guys are in this for the long run. We want you to be doing CrossFit for the next 5, 10, 15 years so that you can have a lifestyle of health and fitness that you'll be able to, play with your kids, play with your grandkids, go on walks, go on runs, go on a mountain bike ride, test your fitness in ways outside the gym. And if you're always consumed with being in the gym and ramping up that intensity and pushing to the max every single day, you're going to probably take away from some of your day-to-day life. And we don't want you guys to have that. So we're kind of wanting to help you guys get in a good spot to be in this for the long haul and to continue to slowly and steadily increase your fitness. So those are some of the changes that we're going to be talking about here in the rest of the video.
All right, so now you've learned a little bit about the background and why we're making these changes and why we're trying to implement a new mindset for you guys. Now we're going to talk about how it affects you and how it specifically affects you at CrossFit Hendersonville and at our gym on a daily basis.
The main way with that is going to be the intensities that we've posted on workouts. For the last month or so, we've posted different numbers of percentages, 75, 80, 95, 100% intensity. And so we're going to continue doing that. We're going to talk about that in different sessions, such as practice sessions and competition sessions. So, we're still going to have those numbers, we're still going to have those guidelines roughly in place, but we really want to get back to just being excellent at the movements. And so we're going to kind of monitor that intensity by having practice WODs and competition WODs. The practice WODs, most of them are still going to have a score. They're still going to be for time or for rounds, but as your coaches, as the leaders in the gym, we're looking more for the quality of your movement and how well you're performing those instead of how fast you're doing them. And we want you guys to kind of adapt that same mentality of trying to go for, better quality of movement and just make sure you're doing everything to the best of your abilities. We also want you guys to still push yourself because we know that the intensity is what allows us to see results, and that's what separates CrossFit from so many other workout programs. And so we do still want to have those competition days where you're able to push yourself to the brink or push yourself to those high intensity levels where you just leave yourself gassed at the end of the day. So you will be seeing different variations in our practice WODs and in our competition WODs.
All right, let's talk about what the month looks like, just to give you guys an idea and how we'll go week by week. So 4 weeks in a month, right? The first week of the month is going to be very nicely balanced. So we've got even amount of practice, competition, skill, strength. We're going to ramp it up week 2, and we're going to still do same 3 practice WODs, 2 competition WODs, but we're going to up the strength sessions a little bit. So you might do one more strength session, or might be just a little bit more intense that week. And then the third week, we're growing up into this peak for week 3. That is the most intense week. So that's where we're really testing your fitness. We're asking you to push hard to that 100% more often that week than the previous 2. So you're going to see 3 competition WODs and 3 strength sessions. 3 strength sessions. The last week is where we deload. All right, so we're going to ramp up for 3, take it back week 4, and we're going to have more skill sessions and more practice WODs. We're only going to have 1 competition WOD and just a couple strength sessions, and we're going to really focus on kind of the quality of the movement, like mentioned, and then just refining and retuning your body for month 2 and month 3, right? So when you go back to week 1, you're not just completely lit up and exhausted from the whole month. We go up and then we back down, and we'll go up and back down. Okay, so that's what the whole month will look like throughout the 4 weeks.
And the last 2 points we have are the strength and skill sessions, which Lindsay mentioned on. We're still going to help you guys get stronger. We definitely believe in lifting heavy weights. You guys are very familiar with that. We also want to work on skill development. So for this month, we're going to work on just very basic things, and that's going to gradually increase to become more and more difficult. But we never want to get over doing the basic movements and doing them well, which brings us to the final point of virtuosity. And in CrossFit, we define that as doing the common uncommonly well. So even if you can back squat 400 pounds, you can still increase your technique on an air squat. Even if you can do 60 push-ups in a row, you can still increase the quality of your push-ups on every single repetition. And so these skill sessions, strength sessions, practice sessions, and even on the competition days, we're going to be looking for virtuosity. So we want you guys to be thinking about doing everything to the best of your abilities to make the simple things to be doing those as best as you can. So that is a breakdown of the new structure in programming.
So thanks for listening. If you have any questions, if any of this didn't make sense, you guys, we're open to talk to you about it. So please ask questions if you've got them to Tate or I. and we'll see you guys at the box.